What's up guys, in this video I'm going to share the 7 ways that cold approach pickup can actually help you with self-improvement and becoming a better man. So aside from just getting laid, there's actually practical, tangible benefits that cold approach can have on your life. So let's go down the line. There's 7 big things that we wrote out. The first one is it forces you to engage in other positive behaviors. So when you start getting into cold approach pickup, you realize, hey, girls are attracted to guys who have muscles, so I better start hitting the gym. I better start watching my diet. I can't really go out and do cold approach pickup 4 hours if I didn't sleep well, or I did drugs, or I drank a lot. So then you have to fix your sleeping habits. Hey, there's actually a lot of value in me doing meditation because that helps me become more grounded. Reading. So these are all things that I personally started doing after I got into cold approach pickup, right? I wasn't really reading much. For all intents and purposes, I was illiterate. I wasn't really doing any meditation. I wasn't really going to the gym. These are all things that cold approach pickup forced me to do because I wanted to improve my success with women. Number 2, it helps you stretch your comfort zone. So we all have, think of comfort zone as like a ring, right? It's a ring. Some people the ring is wider, some people the ring is shorter, but we all have that ring. And anything that's outside of that ring or on the edge seems very challenging. And if something is radically outside, you don't do it. Now, cold approach consistently forces you to do something that makes you uncomfortable, right? Because it's not comfortable to go up to a random girl you don't know and try to start a conversation with her. But so what happens is you stretch your comfort zone every time you go out and do it. And then other things that you might have been putting off that seemed like a big deal to you, like maybe, negotiating with your manager, asking for a raise, maybe closing a client, maybe, starting your own business, suddenly become easy because you've really stretched your comfort zone. So that's another big thing that cold approach definitely helped me with. Another one is redefines your self-image. So we all have a self-image that we carry, right? And if you're a guy who hasn't had much success with women, then your self-image is that of a guy who's not good with women, right? You're like, yeah, I don't think I'm good with women, right? You might also think that you're a loser, right? You're whatever, you're not successful. You're not able to do this and that. Now, once you go out and you start having success with women, right? You start doing that, well, your self-image is going to redefine. So let's say you're a guy who's not successful with girls, and that's what you believe, and then you go out and you sleep with 50 women in a year. Well, now your self-image is going to be redefined to, hey, I'm actually a guy that's good with women. And then again, once you start redefining your self-image, the other beliefs that you held about yourself also start being questioned. Like, oh, I'm just not the kind of guy that is assertive. Oh, wait, I was assertive in this situation with this chick, this. Maybe I am the kind of guy that goes for what he wants and is not afraid to be assertive. And also, I think the biggest thing is it forces you to dream big. So for example, right, you get into cold approach and you're like, oh shit, like, I hope I get this girl's phone number, right? Like that's what your goal is. Then you start doing that and you're like, oh, I hope I, get like 3 dates. Then you do that. Oh, I hope I get late. Then you do that. Oh, I hope I have a threesome, right? And then you do that, right? So you constantly are forced to basically stretch what you're going for, right? Otherwise, you're going to get bored. So you're constantly dreaming bigger and bigger. Well, it's the same thing is going to happen with other areas of your life, right? You're going to be like, why am I trying to make $5,000 a month? Why don't I do $15,000 a month? Why don't I do $20,000 a month? Oh, why am I, working at this job? Why don't I start my own business? So again, that's one personal thing that happened with me. When I got into cold approach, I didn't have a business and I was pretty broke. I was working in sales, wasn't making any money. And again, that's because I didn't dream big. I was like, yeah, this kind of menial job is, what's in store for me. And then, I start having some success with cold approach, and then suddenly I start dreaming bigger. I'm like, hey, why don't I, apply for a different company, right? A company that's better. Oh, why don't I try to get a promotion and become a sales trainer? Oh, fuck this, why don't I start my own business? Okay, why don't I make my business successful? Why don't I start a YouTube channel? So that's kind of what happened for me, and I think it happens for a lot of people. Number 4, it makes you more proactive and assertive. There's no way you can be good at cold approach pickup if you're not proactive. You have to actively take action, right? And so a lot of people, that's the problem they have with other areas of their life. They're not proactive. They're just kind of going with the flow and they're just hoping things work out with them. For business, I see so many people in business who are just like, yeah, hopefully this happens, right? But that's not a good habit. And when you start being proactive in cold approach, it's going to carry over to other areas of your life. You're like, wait, why am I just waiting for shit to happen? Let me make shit happen. Okay, number 5 we have is forces you to confront your fears, your demons, and your inner game issues. So yeah, a lot of people have a lot of inner game issues. I kind of mentioned some of them earlier. Maybe you think you're just a guy who's not confident. Maybe you think you're a guy that, you know, no girl who's attractive will like. Maybe you're thinking a guy who's not worthy of love. And a lot of this stuff is on a subconscious level, right? That you might not even realize until you go out and start doing pickup. Well, you have to get over a lot of these inner game issues if you want to have success with women. But once you get over the additional benefits, once you get over a lot of these inner game issues, well, then there's nothing holding you back in terms of business anymore. There's nothing that's holding you back in terms of your social circle anymore, right? So you overcame a lot of those limiting beliefs, so that's just going to carry over to other areas of your life. And I think the problem is that without that strong incentive of cold approach, right? Like, because the incentive is very clear. This girl's attractive, you know, I get to sleep with her, or I get to be in a relationship with her, whatever your goals are, right? It's very clear. Right? Versus sometimes with business, other areas, it's not as clear. Like with business, you might be like, yeah, I just want to be successful, you know, blah, blah, blah. With cold approach, it's much more clear. I want to, you know, this girl's attractive, I want to make her my girlfriend, right? So again, by overcoming this, you're going to be able to overcome this as well. Hey, if you guys are finding value in this video, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. Seriously, guys, just hit the subscribe button below. And number 6, we have develops your people skills and social calibration. There's no way you can be good at cold approach if you are not socially calibrated. At the end of the day, cold approach is largely just people skills. You have to build your social intuition and your ability to communicate with people, which is largely what cold approach is. So, you know, you could be a guy who's pretty socially awkward. You can be a guy who's not a good communicator, right? You start doing a lot of cold approach, you start having some success, then you're going to be a lot better communicating in other areas of your life. Usually, there's no way that you cannot be. There's no way you can be great at cold approach, but not good at doing a presentation or not good at talking to sales prospects, right? Because all those skills are going to directly carry over. And vice versa. If let's say you want to get better at cold approach pickup, well, if you get a job doing sales and you're doing sales 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, your cold approach skills are going to improve. I can tell you with me firsthand that when I really got into doing sales, especially when I became a sales trainer, my cold approach skills, even though I wasn't doing more of it, exploded. Because a lot of the stuff I was learning from closing prospects and sales and training other salespeople, I was able to apply to my cold approach pickup. And 7 is it forces you to meet other motivated individuals. So there's no way that you can have a successful wing if all your friends are losers, right? Because you're going to start doing cold approach, you're going to realize, hey, what I really need is a wing. I need someone to go out with me, someone that, you know, I can kind of push me, I push them. You know, when we're talking to 2 girls, they can come in. Well, if you only hang out with losers, you're going to have to meet other people. Because there's no way you can take your loser friend who has no motivation and have him be a good wing, right? You're going to quickly realize that's a recipe for failure. So what are you going to do? You're like, well, shit, I have to go out and meet other people. So you're going to meet other people in the community. A lot of them are going to be motivated. Now, of course, there are some weirdos, yes, but there's a lot of good motivated guys that, you know, you can interact with. And again, your energy rubs off on them and vice versa. I learned a lot from the people that I was forced to meet, basically, because I needed a wing. All right, so those are the big benefits that come from cold approach. Now, I do also want to mention there are potential pitfalls that can result as well. And you see this a lot in the Red Pill community. You become resentful and bitter towards women. That can happen, so you have to watch out for that. Another one is that you become obsessed and you start neglecting other areas of your life. I see this all the time. Guys who are just going out and doing cold approach nonstop, but they completely neglect other areas. That's also a trap you don't want to fall into. And I think the last one also is that you start getting a little jaded, right? Because when you do a lot of cold approach, you can see that, you know, people are generally very flaky, right? That, you know, sometimes when you think someone's trustworthy, they're not. There's a lot of things that you will realize, a lot of red pills that you're going to have to adopt. And I think easy one is just become jaded and just start feeling like apathetic about other areas of your life. I can tell you with me firsthand, I personally experienced that, and it's something I struggle with, is not being jaded. So that's personally been a struggle for me. But those are the big ones, and if you guys can avoid that and take advantage of the benefits, then you're gonna improve your life. I can tell you that I severely doubt I would be where I am now, just in terms of business, confidence, you know, ability to talk and communicate, if it wasn't for cold approach pickup. I would say it's less than 1% chance that I'll be speaking to you in front of a camera, right? I would probably be doing some weird tech job somewhere in a cubicle or just not doing anything exciting. So I think that, you know, it's important to take advantage of the positives and watch out for the negatives. Hopefully you guys found this video valuable. Show us some love by smashing that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell for notification. That's one of the most important pitfalls of YouTube that you want to avoid, is not subscribe to the channel. So you can fix that right now by smashing that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.